First of all, I welcome all to Global AI On Tour. Myself, Dhruvin Shah, and today I'm going to present on one of the interesting topic of Power Platform, which is entity extraction of your data. And I'm going to use that entity extraction with the help of Power Apps and Power Automate. Now, before we get started, let me give you a little bit introduction about myself. Myself, Dhruvin Shah, and I'm working as Power Platform specialist and Office 365 developer in one of the reputed company at Ahmedabad, Gujarat. I am a very active blogger and YouTuber having 100 plus article and 300 plus tech videos on different Power Platform component and .NET. I am rewarded with 3 times C Sharp Corner MVP for my constant contribution towards the technology. And these are the social media handles that I have. You can contact me over there. Now, coming towards the session agenda. So this is a lightning session of 30 minutes. So I'm going to, it would be the fast forward and I'm going to demonstrate most practical things over here. So I will start with first the overview of entity extraction AI model and how we can use that entity extraction in real life business case. Then we are going to build a CDS model to prepare for entity extraction. And after that, we will build entity extraction AI model. And once the model is being built, we will train that and publish to the Power Platform. And after that, we are consuming the prediction AI model with the help of Power Automate inside the Power Apps. So this is the agenda that I'm going to cover throughout these 30 minutes. Now, first of all, let me explain you what is entity extraction AI model. So let me explain you in a very simple word that nowadays organization are receiving so much data. Data can be in any form, either it is in form of a chat window or in a form of email or any documents. So what entity extraction do is all the data of the document or chat is not useful for further analysis. So entity extraction will recognize the data from the given text, and after that it will transform that unstructured data to a structured data, so that can be used for the further analysis. So this is something that we are going to perform. Now this is the theoretical part. Now let me explain you the example over here. So here I am taking an example of a real life recruitment agency, or let's say HR portal. So recruitment agency receives lots of candidate information in a form of an email and a chat in their day-to-day routine. So their business model will not require every value from there. Basically, they want to capture only few values from the data that they were been received. So entity extraction AI builder will recognize the useful information from our data, and it will convert that unstructured data to machine readable data. So it is something like this. Let's say for an example, this is one sample. Like HR agency received this type of requirement that candidate name is this one. He has this year of experience as this position. He is living in India and they can connect me on this one. His status and his birthday is on this day. So basically, which are the useful entity from this example? So let's say if I'm consider here this entire paragraph, name is important as a business perspective. Duration means experience is important over here. His position is important. Where he is living, the country information is important. Email address is important. Relationship status is important, and birth date is important. So only this value are in a structured form that we need to extract from the provided example. So end user can enter anything. So basically from the process, we need to extract few entities over here. So how can we do that? I'm going to explain this throughout this demo. Now, before we start to building the process, let me show you the end result first. So we will get understand that what we are going as the end result. So let me just open that out. So this is the Power Apps, sample Power Apps that we are going to build. I have written the same sentence over here, and when user enters extract entities from the Power Apps, what it will do is it will call the Power Automate at the backend, and Power Automate will retrieve the important entities from the provided text and show in the table, and it will automatically populate the pre-populated form of SharePoint. And at last, once user clicks on save, or they can modify based on the detected information, because it's a AI model. So sometimes there is a possibility that it detects the wrong information. So pre-populated thing would be appear here, and they can change the value and save to that. database. So after that, they can use it for the future analysis. So this is something that we are going to perform. Now, in order to do so, we need to follow few steps over here. So before we start, we need to consider few points for entity extraction. So first of all, this entity extraction AI model is support only CDS data sources at this moment. Then it support only this type of natural languages like English, Chinese, simplified, French, German, Italian, Spanish, and Portuguese. Then length of the document or the text should not be greater than 5,000 characters. So limit of 5,000 character is there, and we need to provide at least 10 example of your data. So basically, while we are training, we need to provide at least 10 examples over here. So now let's get started with our first step to building the CDS model. So first of all, before we do that, let me show you my data source. So this is some sample data that I have captured for HR agency. So I taken around 10 to 11 records at this moment for the demo purpose. So what we need to do is, first of all, we need to upload this Excel spreadsheet to OneDrive, because in CDS we have different connectors, and at this moment for Excel it supports the file from the OneDrive. So now how to build a CDS model, first let me explain you that thing. And this step is optional. If you already have the CDS model, you can avoid that step, but I'm assuming that we are going to step by step, so I'm proceeding with that thing. So this is the Power Apps portal, make.powerapps.com. And in Power Apps, we have a data option over here, and we just need to click on entities from here. So once we click on entities, we need to click on get data from here. So once you click on get data, it will open this type of pop-up for us. From here, we need to select Excel. So once we click on that, it will open this type of connection setting for us, where we need to provide the OneDrive path of our file. So I already uploaded. I'm not going to hover here. I'm going to next step. So once we upload this thing, it will show me this type of Power Query window for us. So basically, if you are aware about the Power BI, this Power Query window is similar like Excel Power Query or a Power BI's Power Query. So basically, we just need to modify our data. So basically, here I'm making first row as a header, and then I just need to change the data type of my employee to text, and we just need to click on next. So it's a very straightforward process. And in the next step, it's a step of map entities, where we need to map our entities. So basically, I wanted to load this as a new entity. So I'm selecting load to new entity. If you already developed some of the entity model in place and you want to add additional data over there, you can select add to existing entity. So I'm just providing a name of my entity like day 06 entity over here, and I'm just providing the primary key over here. So employee ID is my primary key. I'm just selecting that one, and we just need to select next button that will ask to refresh data model. So this is taking some time, but I already loaded one of the entity, so I'm moving to the next step for fast forward process. So same way, I prepared an entity with global AI Pune entity classification. So once you load your data, you just need to check to data section of your entities, and you can see that all the data has been loaded successfully. So this was the first step to prepare the CDS data model over here. And when you are performing these steps, this will take some time based on your data. So this type of refresh option will be provided, and you just need to click on create. And even if once you create that, it will take around 2 to 5 minutes to load the data within entities. So be patient over there. So now the model has been created. Now we need to go with our second step, that is to build entity classification AI model. For that, what we need to do here is we need to go again to make.powerapps.com. Then from AI builder, we need to click on build option. So it will open this type of options for you to build different type of AI model for you. So in this session, I'm going to cover entity extraction AI model. We are not going to talk about other models. This is in preview, and it is recently launched, most probably in the May update. So this is something that we are going to talk about today. So once we click on that, it will show all the step-by-step information over here to us. So any end user can build it very easily. It doesn't require any coding skill or any extraordinary skill over here. It's just a simple click things over here. So first, it is providing some advices to us that we need to provide at least 10 example. Then the steps are, first we need to select the data, then the review and refine, and then publish and use your AI model. So everything is written inside this pop-up itself. Also, it provides some example as well, like this. And some base practices that I explained in the PPT is also mentioned over here, that we need to use sentences in the same language, or the sentences should be at least 5 to 50 words and maximum 5,000 characters. So this is something that is provided over here. Now here we need to provide the name of our AI model. So I'm providing here name as day07 entity model, and then we just need to click on create. So once we click on create, it will go step by step procedure over here, from where we need to select the entity first, and then after we need to train our model. So let it to be created. So yes, the first step is came here. So from here we need to select the entities. So whichever the entities that we have created in our first step, that we need to select here. So basically I already created one entity, global AI Pune entity. So I'm selecting that entity over here, and from fields we need to select here in my data I have two fields, employee ID and description. So basically we need to extract the entity from the description, so we need to select that field over here, and after that just click on next. So once we click on next, we need to select the language. I'm selecting English, and all this supported language I mentioned in the PPT. So we just need to click on analyze. So what it will do is, based on our data, it will first try to identify the out of the box entity which are supported by this AI builder. So AI builder supports so many out of the box entities. So most of your data will be extracted automatically over there. But as a business need, we need to create our own custom entity over here. So as you can see that these are my sentences which I provided, and based on the sentences, it just try to understand what should be the data like. So let's say the candidate name is Swanit, so he is a person name, so it detect the person name automatically over here. Now this is the organization it detected, which is absolutely wrong, because it's not an organization, it's just a name. So from here we can remove that. So basically it's a part of training, but before we move further, let me explain you about the entities. So these are the out of the box entities which are detected over here. We can see at the right hand side of the section. At this moment it is supporting so many pre-built entities. So these all are the pre-built entities which will be detected automatically from your data. You don't need to write any single line of code over here. Now as a business, I want to obviously need to create the custom entities over here. Let's say for an example, here I have a position. So for position, it is not detected automatically. Or let's say relationship status, it is also not being detected automatically. So for this kind of thing, we need to build an entity. For that, what we need to do is click on new entity, and we just need to provide the name of the entity, that is the position that I'm adding here. Now we need to provide at least 5 examples. You can add any examples over here based on your data. So let's say whatever the entity name would be, we need to add that in the curly braces. So we just need to think like end user perspective, like what user can enter over here. So let's say someone can enter like he's working as a PHP developer. So PHP developer is something which I want to extract as a position. So I added that in a curly braces. Now it highlighted with the red automatically. We need to add four more example. So let's say I'm adding one more example, as she is working as SharePoint developer. One more example I can provide, that he is Power Platform specialist, or let's say we can say someone can enter a value like professionally he is working as content writer, or we can also write this Android developer. So these are the entities value that we can add here. And now we just need to click on create option. So that entity has been created successfully over here. Now for relationship, we can add one more entity. Let's say relationship status. And let's say add some examples. Let's say adding some possibilities that someone can enter. He is single, is married. She is single mother. What we can add here is unmarried as a status as well, or we can add a status like she is single. So you can add statuses based on the requirements and just need to click on create. So this will create the entities over here. Now once the entity is created, our goal is to train our model. For that, the train statements are appear over here, that currently at this moment in my data we have this many of data over here. So basically what we need to do here is we just need to clean up the data if it is detected as a wrong value. So let's say here PHP is not a money in this terms of example, so we need to remove that. And PHP developer is someone which is position, so we just need to mark at as position. Married is a relationship status, so we just need to select as relationship status. BI developer is something which is also a position, so we just need to select two words over here and we can mark as position. And same way single is a relationship status. So basically first time what we need to do here is we can at least need to train around 10 values so that it will give you the most appropriate result, right? So currently I'm not going to train each and every statement from here, but I already built one of the model where I have trained that thing already, so I'm showing that thing to you. So here I trained that thing. I trained around 11 sentences over here. So I'm just clicking, the next step is we just need to click on next once we train this thing, and then after it will ask to train our model. So you can see that 11 rows are there in the model, and currently I selected only two rows, so only two rows has been trained over here. So I'm just clicking on train over here. So this will also take some time. We just need to click on go to models, and it will show the created model over here, and it is showing training over here, and now it's changed as a trained. So we just need to click over here, and now from here we can taste the different values over here. So I'm not going to perform testing on this model because we haven't trained it properly. We just trained only two rows. So for more proper result, you need to train more and more data. And this process is gradually, like based on the result that you are getting from the model, you can retrain the model more and more to train more accurate result we will be getting over there. So this is one entity model that I already trained with more than 10 records. So I'm showing some of the examples to ask as a question over here. So let's say for an example, I'm not going to use any of the sentences that I trained over here. I'm using something which is totally different from these values. Like even the position is something which we haven't trained in any of the sentences, or we haven't defined as an entity. Still, it will provide us the accurate result based on the intents of the sentence. So let's say, let me try few examples over here. So let's say if someone enters a value like Roma is intelligent AI developer, she has expertise in AI component. So if I'm writing this type of statement over here, and if I just click on OK, what it will do is let's see what value it detects first. So when we hit here, you can see that name is detected perfectly. Position is also something which is detected perfectly. So basically AI developer is something which I haven't added anywhere into my statement or anywhere into my trained statement. Still it detected properly just because it's a working part. So it understand that this is the position, and that is how it has detected. Now let me try some more different example. Let's say here I'm writing Shantanu is working as chemical engineer. So this is also something that we haven't used anywhere. And let's say if we enter, so you can see that it detect this value perfectly over here. And relationship status is also something which is detected perfectly. So this custom entity is detected perfectly over here. Let's try some more example, like we have trained one thing like relationship status as single mother. So I just added one sample over here, like Rekha is single mother. So relationship status is detected same that we trained. And also project manager position. So it is something that is nowhere in the part of during our training or during the example, still it detects perfectly. So this is something uh, that we can test with our AI model. Now, one more thing. Sometimes there is a possibility that it will not detect few of the entities that you have defined. So in that stage, what you need to do is, again, once you do that, let me show you that thing. Let's say this is my demo model that we just created. So let's say if I'm entering here and I'm not detecting some values properly, then we need to click on edit model and we need to retrain our model. So what happened here is, in the second time when you go over there, the entities that you have created, which would be automatically detected to your statements, and if it is wrong detection, you can remove that and you can add that again. So this is something that requires some exercise around 1 or 2 times. You need to train and retrain your model to get a better result. All right. So once we train this model, once we are good with the result that we have, we need to publish our model. So the publishing is important here because without publishing, you can't use this model inside the Power Automate. So we just need to publish here. I already published that, so I'm not waiting for that. Now we need to go with the Power App side, and we need to. I want to show you how we can use that Power Automate inside Power Apps. For that, what we need to do here is we need to create a solution file for that. So first of all, we need to go to the solution and we just need to click on new solution. Inside the new solution, I am just typing day 07 entities, and we just need to select publisher as default CDS publisher and just need to click on create. So this will create one blank solution for us, and once we click on blank solution, we just need to create power apps inside that solution. So app, canvas app, and tablet from factor we need to select. Same way for flow, we need to select the flow. So that means that your flow or your power apps would be created inside this specific solution. We cannot make it outside, otherwise you are not able to use the AI model over there. But if you by mistakenly created power apps or flow outside, you can add this using existing thing. You can add existing canvas app. So whatever the app that you create, it will be added back over here. So let me move over to the power apps that I created. This is my solution that I built, and I created one power apps and two flows inside that. Now let me move over to the power apps. So inside the power apps, what I did here is I just put one sample text box over here, and I just added one button over here, and on button I'm triggering my Power Automate flow over here. Now let me move over to the Power Automate. So basically, I created two different flows for Power Automate. There is a specific reason behind to create two different flows instead of creating a single one, because of it is throwing some errors inside the Power Apps. So basically, what we need to do here is this is my parent flow and this is my child flow. So let me explain you with the parent flow first. So parent flow will take input from Power Apps. So candidate text is passed from Power Apps to this particular Power Automate. So I just initialize this variable over here. Now we just need to save this flow over here, and we just need to close this flow. After that, we need to create a child flow. For that, we just need to add an action when HTTP request is received. So from parent flow, I'm passing candidate information from there. So we just need to add some sample payload from here, like candidate information, and we just need to pass some value over here. So this will create some type of JSON structure for us automatically. Here I'm typing anything, but it would be candidate information. But okay, now I'm not clicking on done. I already did that. So it will create automatically this JSON schema for us. Then I just initialize one variable appended text. And then a very important step is to use the published AI model inside Power Automate. So when you click on that, you will be seeing the AI builder option over here. So you just need to click on AI builder. And from here, you just need to select the predict action from here. So once you click on predict, it will show you to choose the model. So as we can see that we just published day 07 entity model. So it is appear over here, but I'm not going to use that one. I'm going to use the one that we already built, that is global AI Pune. So I'm using this AI model over here. Now let me just add some languages over here. We just need to pass English language over here, and we need to just pass the text that we are coming from the parent flow. So just passing that thing over here. Same way I already did that. So I'm just removing this tab from here. And at last, what it will do is it will give us a return result, and we just adding one loop over here based on our business data. So what I did here is in response I am appending two things. Let me explain you that thing. One thing is response result entity values and response result entity type. So entity type will be looking like this. I'm separating this with the pipeline and I'm adding value after that. And after every loop, I want to add star and pipeline over here. So this is how every row would be separated. There is a specific reason behind it. I am explaining that later. So at last we are passing this response to over here, and same way in parent flow we are calling that child flow and taking the end result from child flow to parent flow and then responding to power apps like this. So once we are done on that, what we need to do is go to power apps. We just need to go click on action and we need to add the power automate flow over here. Now there is a specific reason that I took two flow over here, because the reason is that this predict action is something which is not support directly with a single flow. So let's say for an example, in parent flow, if I am adding predict action and I'm trying to add that particular flow to my power apps, at this moment it is throwing me an error that this action is not supported in power apps. So as a workaround, what we need to do is we are not associating that predict action directly with this particular parent flow, but we are using that as a child flow. So it will just responding response over that. So that is how we can use that model over here. Now what I need to do here is I just need to parse my JSON over here. So these are some logical stuff, so don't worry about the code. I'm providing the link of the code to my GitHub account for this thing. So let me explain you what type of response I will be receiving here and how I fetch that. So here I will just need to go to collection. The response I'm getting here like this. And once I getting this, I am splitting this in the rows like this. And after that, it will be converted to entity and entity values. And I'm going to use this collection. So now let's run our Power Apps and let's check the output. So I'm just adding this over here. I'm just clicking extract entities over here. And now let's check the run of the flow over here. So here it is. Let me go back. So yes, my flow has been triggered successfully. This is my parent flow and it is my child flow. And from child flow, let's check the response that I'm getting from here with the predict action. So from here, we are getting apply to appended string, and response like this has been passed from here, and it will be passed to the power apps, and you can see that entity has been detected and this candidate information is pre-populated. The pre-populated code is something like whatever the collection would be there, I just added default event of it, that it will fetch that what is the person name inside that entity values. So it will automatically populate this thing over here, and when we hit save, it will store the data to the SharePoint list. So at this moment, SharePoint list is blank, and I'm just refreshing that, and the data has been stored over here. So basically unstructured data has been converted to the structured data with the help of this entity extraction AI model over here. So there are so many use cases of it, and currently it is in preview at this moment. It is not advisable to use it directly for the production purpose, but yes, at least for your learning purpose you can use. So I think I covered almost everything over here. And just for your reference, I'm providing the link of this code to my GitHub account. Just after this call, I uploaded my code and PPT file everywhere over here. And the same, this is the fast forward session. So every step-by-step procedure with a long time period, I'm going to upload definitely very soon on my YouTube channel, where you can also explore other Power Platform components like AI Builder, form processing, prediction model. Everything is available there. So that would be most probably launching on next week. So I will provide the link over there. So I think I covered everything over here. And at last, let me just quickly show you on all my social media platform links. So you can contact me if you have any question on my WhatsApp, Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, Blogger, and LinkedIn account. So if you have any question, we can go with the question. Otherwise, I'm good with my session over. Yeah. Thank you so much.